Once upon a time, in a land where skies shimmered with golden hues and rivers sang gentle melodies, there existed a kingdom unlike any other, the Crystal Kingdom. Its towers gleamed like diamonds, and its people thrived under the gentle rule of Queen Lyra, who possessed a magical locket said to contain the essence of the sun. But all was not well in the Crystal Kingdom. The skies had darkened, and the river's songs grew silent. Whispers of an ancient curse spread through the villages, and fear began to creep into every heart. The only hope lay in the legend of the Starbird, a mythical creature whose song could restore life and light to the land. This is the tale of a young girl named Lyra, an apprentice glassblower with dreams as vast as the skies, who dared to seek the Starbird and save her home. In the heart of the Crystal Kingdom, where dreams sparkled like morning dew, Lyra worked tirelessly in her father's glass shop.
One day, I'll craft something so beautiful that even the queen will marvel at it.
One fateful evening, a cloaked stranger entered the shop. He placed a shard of obsidian on the counter.
A gift for the brave. This shard holds the key to finding the Starbird, but beware, the path is perilous.
If there's a chance to save the kingdom, I have to try.
The shard pulsed with a faint, rhythmic light. Lyra's father urged caution, but her heart was set. That night, Lyra packed her tools and followed the shard's glow into the unknown. The shard led Lyra to the enchanted forest, where the trees whispered secrets.
Traveller, prove your worth. Solve our riddle, and the path will be revealed.
What is your riddle?
I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I?
An echo.
The spirits shimmered with approval, granting her passage. Further along, she encountered a mischievous fox named Riven.
A quest, you say? I'll guide you for a price.
What do you want? I've never sung before.
Then now's the time to start.
Lyra sang a song of hope and courage, her voice trembling but true. Moved by her sincerity, Riven agreed to accompany her.
Your courage matches your voice.
Together, they braved the Caverns of Echoes, where shadows danced and whispered doubts into Lyra's mind.
You are too small, too weak. Turn back before it's too late.
At the peak of the celestial spire, Lyra and Riven found the Starbird's nest. The creature, radiant with starlight, gazed at them with ancient eyes.
Why have you sought me, child?
My kingdom is dying. The light has faded, and only your song can save us.
The Starbird hesitated.
To sing the song of renewal, you must offer something precious, a piece of your soul.
Wait, what does that mean? She could...
If it will save my home, I give it freely.
Moved by her bravery, the Starbird sang. The melody wove through the air, mending the broken skies and rekindling the river's songs. But Lyra's light dimmed, her strength waning.
Stay with us, Lyra. You are the bravest soul I've ever known.
Starbird, touched by their bond, restored Lyra with a feather of pure starlight.
Your courage has rekindled the light in more ways than one. Go and let your light shine for others.
Lyra and Riven returned to the Crystal Kingdom, where light and life had been restored. The people cheered, and Queen Alara welcomed Lyra as a hero.
Your courage has saved us all. The locket's light pales in comparison to the fire in your heart.
I didn't do it alone. I had help.
Interior of the glass shop with walls lined with vibrant glass creations in various shapes and sizes. Sunlight streams through large curved windows, casting colorful reflections on polished wooden floors. A shimmering glass sculpture, catching the sunlight, refracting a spectrum of colors onto the surrounding surfaces. Lyra Thompson stands at the workbench in the glass shop, her wavy auburn hair cascading down her back. She is holding a glass rod over a flame, focusing intently on her work. Lyra Thompson's bright green eyes glimmer as she gazes at the glasswork in progress, her lips murmuring inaudibly. The view of the shop's door from behind the counter, showing a cloaked stranger silhouetted in the doorway, sunlight outlining their figure. The cloaked stranger steps into the shop, their dark cloak flowing behind them as they approach the counter, obscuring their features. Lyra Thompson turns from her workbench, her posture straightening as she gazes at the cloaked stranger, curiosity and apprehension in her expression. The obsidian shard being placed on the counter by a gloved hand, its dark surface gleaming under the shop's warm light. The cloaked stranger's face remains obscured by their hood as they lean slightly forward, their posture imposing yet calm. Lyra Thompson's hand hesitates above the obsidian shard, her fingers inches away from touching it, her expression a mix of wonder and hesitation. From Lyra Thompson's perspective, the obsidian shard lies on the counter, its dark surface reflecting faint glimmers of light. The cloaked stranger gestures subtly towards the shard, their voice unheard but their intention clear. Lyra Thompson tilts her head slightly, her bright green eyes narrowing in thought as she listens to the stranger's ominous warning. The shop's warm atmosphere contrasts with the dark presence of the cloaked stranger, who stands still, their silhouette stark against the colorful backdrop. The obsidian shard remains on the counter, its mysterious aura emphasized by the play of light and shadow around it. A vast enchanted forest with towering trees covered in emerald moss. Sunlight filters through the dense canopy, creating dappled patterns on the forest floor, adorned with ferns and wildflowers. A closer view of the forest floor, focusing on vibrant wildflowers and a thin trail winding through the moss-covered ferns. Lyra Thompson stands at the edge of the forest, her long, wavy auburn hair catching the dappled sunlight. She gazes ahead with determination, holding a small leather satchel. Lyra Thompson steps cautiously into the forest, the soft earth and moss cushioning her footsteps. Her gaze shifts upwards to the towering trees. The view from Lyra Thompson's perspective, as she looks up at the towering trees, their leaves whispering softly in the breeze. Sunlight filters through the dense canopy. A tree spirit gnarled figure with bark-like skin and glowing green eyes, resembling a large tree, stands motionless among the forest shadows. Branches extend from its arms, shimmering with ethereal light. Lyra Thompson stands before the tree spirit, her head slightly tilted as she listens intently. Her posture is upright, and her hands clutch her leather satchel. The tree spirit, glowing green eyes, stare into the distance, its bark-like skin and shimmering leaves starkly contrasted against the forest's greens and browns. Lyra Thompson kneels on the forest floor beside her satchel, carefully removing glass-blowing tools and a small piece of molten glass. The glowing molten glass, held carefully in at Lyra Thompson's hands, begins to take shape as she works with delicate precision. Lyra Thompson's face is illuminated by the soft glow of the molten glass as she focuses intently on her task. Beads of sweat form on her brow. A newly crafted prism, its surface sparkling with rainbow hues, rests in at Lyra Thompson's hands as she examines it with satisfaction. The prism, held up against the sunlight, refracts beams of colorful light that scatter across the forest floor, revealing a hidden path among the trees. The tree spirit tilts its head slightly and emits a soft green glow, its expression one of approval as it gestures toward the revealed path. Lyra Thompson stands at the entrance of the hidden path, her leather satchel slung over her shoulder. She glances back briefly before stepping forward with determination. The revealed path winds deeper into the forest, illuminated by scattered beams of sunlight and lined with shimmering leaves and ethereal flowers. A sun-drenched forest clearing surrounded by vibrant wildflowers, with sunlight filtering through the leaves above and casting playful shadows on the lush grass. Lyra Thompson stands in the forest clearing, her long wavy auburn hair catching the sunlight. She gazes around, taking in the vibrant surroundings. Riven Fox's face, his bright yellow eyes glinting mischievously as he looks toward Lyra Thompson. Lyra Thompson turns her head toward the fox, her bright green eyes wide with curiosity as she studies him. Riven Fox steps closer to Lyra Thompson, his sleek body moving gracefully through the vibrant wildflowers, his gaze fixed on her. Riven Fox sits in the clearing, his white-tipped bushy tail curled around his sleek body. He appears to be speaking, his expression animated and clever. Lyra Thompson hesitates, her hand resting lightly on her chest as she looks down at the ground, her auburn hair falling slightly forward. At Lyra Thompson's face, as she closes her eyes, a serene expression settling across her features, preparing to sing. Lyra Thompson stands gracefully in the clearing, her posture relaxed as she sings, her voice carrying through the sunlit forest. Riven Fox's face, as his mischievous expression softens, his bright yellow eyes reflecting a hint of emotion as he listens to Lyra Thompson's song. A vibrant wildflower sways gently in the breeze, illuminated by the sunlight, emphasizing the peaceful atmosphere of the clearing. Riven Fox stands up, his sleek body poised and his white-tipped tail swishing as he looks toward Lyra Thompson with a determined expression. Lyra Thompson smiles warmly, her bright green eyes shining as she looks at Riven Fox, a sense of trust forming between them. Riven Fox begins to walk, leading the way out of the clearing, his russet orange fur glinting in the sunlight as he moves confidently. Lyra Thompson follows Riven Fox, her auburn hair flowing behind her as she steps through the lush grass and vibrant wildflowers. A wide view of the dark cavern, with walls glistening from mineral deposits. Bioluminescent fungi cast a dim, eerie glow, and stalactites hang from the ceiling. The ground is uneven, with scattered rocks. Lyra Thompson walks cautiously through the cavern, her eyes scanning the shimmering walls. Her posture is tense, and her right hand rests on the strap of her satchel. Riven Fox strides beside Lyra Thompson, his bushy, white-tipped tail swaying. His bright yellow eyes glint in the faint light as he looks ahead, ears perked. The cavern wall, where a cluster of bioluminescent fungi emits a soft, bluish glow, illuminating the surrounding mineral deposits. Lyra Thompson stops abruptly, gazing ahead with wide green eyes. Her lips part slightly as she notices something unusual in the distance. From Lyra Thompson's POV, an illusion of a glowing bridge stretches across a chasm, shimmering and flickering faintly. Riven Fox tilts his head, his bright yellow eyes narrowing as he observes the illusion. His sleek, russet orange fur catches the faint glow of the fungi. Lyra Thompson's hand gripping the strap of her satchel tightly, her knuckles white from the pressure. Lyra Thompson kneels beside the edge of the chasm, pulling out a small glass prism from her satchel. The prism catches the faint light, refracting colorful beams. The glowing bridge illusion fades as the prism refracts light across the chasm, revealing a hidden narrow stone path below. Riven Fox steps onto the revealed stone path cautiously, his sleek body low to the ground, tail swishing as he balances. Lyra Thompson follows Riven Fox, carefully placing her feet on the narrow path. Her eyes remain focused on the ground ahead. His ears flattening and his bright yellow eyes fixed on the shadowy figure. His posture is defensive. The shadowy figure dissipates into a swirl of mist, blending into the darkness of the cavern. Lyra Thompson glances down at Riven Fox, her expression softening as she nods in silent understanding. Riven Fox looks up at her, his ears perking slightly. Lyra Thompson's hand reaching out gently toward Riven Fox's head, her fingers brushing against his soft russet orange fur. A final wide view of the cavern as Lyra Thompson and Riven Fox move forward together, their figures silhouetted against the faint glow of the bioluminescent fungi. A vast view of the Celestial Spire's peak, surrounded by vibrant clouds and a starry sky. The ground sparkles with gemstones reflecting the starlight glow. Lyra Thompson stands near the edge of the peak, her long auburn hair flowing in the gentle breeze. At Riven Fox sits beside her, gazing upwards with alert eyes. The radiant Starbird rests in its nest, glowing with starlight. Its ancient eyes reflect wisdom and power, surrounded by shimmering light. Riven Fox, the Starbird's nest is illuminated, revealing intricate details of its glowing feathers and the radiant gemstones scattered around. At Lyra Thompson kneels on the gemstone-covered ground, her hands clasped together, looking up at the Starbird with determination in her green eyes. The gemstones on the ground sparkle and pulse faintly, casting a mesmerizing light around the scene. Behind at Lyra Thompson, its tail curled around its body, observing the interaction with curiosity and concern. At Lyra Thompson's hand, trembling slightly, as she places it over her heart, symbolizing her readiness to make the sacrifice. First-person POV, looking down at Lyra Thompson's hand, glowing faintly as a small wisp of light emerges, representing a fragment of her soul. The wisp of light floats toward the Starbird, who leans forward slightly, its glowing feathers intensifying as it absorbs the light. The Starbird opens its beak, releasing a cascade of radiant sound waves that ripple through the air, illuminating the surroundings. Lyra Thompson sits back on her heels, visibly drained but serene as the light from the Starbird envelopes her and at Riven Fox. The Starbird, now glowing brighter than ever, spreads its wings wide, radiating light that fills the frame. At Riven Fox stands beside at Lyra Thompson, looking up at the Starbird with awe, its fur reflecting the radiant light. A high-angle view of the celestial spire showing at Lyra Thompson and at Riven Fox as small figures bathed in the Starbird's glowing light, surrounded by the starry sky and vibrant clouds. The vibrant town square of the Crystal Kingdom, filled with gleaming crystal structures and colorful banners fluttering in the breeze. Villagers gather, their faces filled with joy and relief under the bright sunlight. At Lyra Thompson and at Riven Fox walk side by side into the town square, at Lyra Thompson holding her head high with a warm smile, and at Riven Fox's bushy tail swaying as he pads gracefully beside her. Villagers cheer and wave as they surround at Lyra Thompson and at Riven Fox, their faces glowing with joy and admiration. Colorful banners flutter in the backdrop. At Queen Lyra stands at the center of the square on a slightly elevated platform, her elegant posture and flowing golden hair crowned with a silver tiara glinting in the sunlight. Her arms are extended in a welcoming gesture. At Lyra Thompson steps forward to meet at Queen Lyra on the platform, her auburn hair catching the sunlight as she gazes up at the Queen with a humble yet proud expression. At Queen Lyra gently places her hands on at Lyra Thompson's shoulders, her expression one of deep gratitude and warmth as she gazes into at Lyra Thompson's eyes. At Lyra Thompson's bright green eyes as they glisten with emotion, her lips curved in a soft smile. Villagers watch from the crowd, their expressions a mix of admiration and inspiration as they listen intently to at Lyra Thompson's tale. At Lyra Thompson stands on the platform, gesturing animatedly as she shares her tale, her auburn hair flowing in the gentle breeze. The sunlight highlights her graceful posture. At Riven Fox sitting at the edge of the platform, his vibrant russet orange fur glowing in the sunlight as his bright yellow eyes watch at Lyra Thompson with a proud glint. A group of children in the crowd gaze up at Lyra Thompson with wide, inspired eyes, some holding small glass trinkets shaped like stars. Close-up of a glass trinket shaped like a star held in a child's small hand, catching the sunlight and casting colorful reflections. Wide view of the entire town square as the celebration continues, with villagers laughing, cheering, and dancing under the colorful banners and bright sunlight. First-person POV looking up at the vibrant crystal structures and fluttering banners, the sunlight creating sparkling reflections on the crystals. At Queen Lyra, at Lyra Thompson, and at Riven Fox stand together on the platform, their figures framed by the gleaming crystal structures and vivid banners in the background. Close-up of at Queen Lyra's silver crown adorned with intricate designs, glinting in the sunlight as her golden hair flows behind her. At Lyra Thompson kneels slightly, to greet a small child from the crowd, her expression warm and kind, as she extends a hand to the child, who beams with joy. Lyra Thompson kneels slightly to greet a small child from the crowd, her expression warm and kind, as she extends a hand to the child, who beams with joy. The child holds at Lyra Thompson's hand, looking up at her with wide, awe-filled eyes. The crowd and banners are softly blurred in the background. Lyra Thompson and Riven Fox walk away from the platform together, the crowd parting to let them pass, their figures illuminated by the golden sunlight.